Nietzsche said, "How shall we, murderers of all murderers, console ourselves? That which was the holiest and mightiest of all that the world has yet possessed has bled to death under our knives. Who will wipe this blood off us? With what water could we purify ourselves? What festivals of atonement, what sacred games shall we need to invent? Is not the greatness of this deed too great for us? Must we not ourselves become gods simply to be worthy of it? There has never been a greater deed, and whosoever shall be born after us, for the sake of this deed, he shall be part of a higher history than all history hitherto." Oscar Wilde said, "Yet each man kills the thing he loves. By each let this be heard. Some do it with a bitter look, some with a flattering word. The coward does it with a kiss." Jonathan Swift said, "When a true genius appears in the world, you may know him by this sign, that the dunces are all in confederacy against him." Colonel Kurtz said, "Drop the bomb, exterminate them all." Well, there's no coming back from that. No one returned to Eden after the banishment. The tree of knowledge has been removed. The oracles have fallen silent. You have literally watched the regression of the human race. You have seen how the retarded and criminals silence the intelligent and honest. They suffered no penalty, so it fell to us to impose the penalty. They made their choice, the same one the Igenovi always make, anything for an easy life. Why change your habits? Ignavi never do, but we can certainly change ours. So let it be done. Here is the empty stage. Who will walk on? Nietzsche said, "Of what is great one must either be silent or speak with greatness." We ended up in the deepest, most dismal sewers of hell with the creepiest individuals in the world. Our work became a breeding ground for insanity. It's extraordinary that a project devoted to the principle of sufficient reason should have ended up being scratched and clawed at by humanity's most irrational people. The horror. By their own actions, they removed themselves from the tree of knowledge. The stupid always do. It's the Dunning-Kruger effect. The idiots always obstruct progress. It's their nature. They don't nurture the golden goose. They kill it. So it goes. For those that stood by and let the wreckers wreck, and the deceivers deceive, and the con men con, and liked all of their posts and signed up as their friends on Facebook, you are almost worse than they are. You enabled them, facilitated them, encouraged them. You are their codependents. Even when they were exposed, almost none of you confronted them and expressed disapproval. They weren't instantly expelled from the community. Many went on liking them and encouraging them exactly as before. You, the ones that do nothing, that whistle Dixie and stick your ass into the breeze, are last men and Ignavi. Always out for an easy life, never troubling yourself, never exerting yourself. You just shrug your shoulders when these things happen. Have you never asked yourself the simplest question? How could any great new world possibly be based on the likes of you? You are the people ruining the world. You are the exact problem, the dire obstacle. You are precisely what needs to be overcome. The world is full of toxic, anomic, dysfunctional people. That's why it's so fucked. The quality of humanity is staggeringly low. Everything is presided over by the Confederacy of Dunces, the idiocracy. Our project failed to attract enough of the people who are the solution to the world's problems. Instead, it attracted plenty of those who are the problems. We wanted the autonomous. We got the anomic, totally broken, chaotic people lashing out at everything, but never once asking any questions of themselves. Such is life. So you think you're meritorious. Well, where's your merit? You were friends of a troll whose idea of merit was to hack our work, steal our work, and pass himself off as one of us. And that right there is the difference between the talented and talentless. The talented create what is wondrous, while the talentless steal it, exploit it, abuse it. The talentless can never create anything of value, so they assault everything of value, precisely as the notorious hacker did. What else is he going to do? Life has nothing else for him. Talentless people are trapped by their talentlessness. The hacker believed he was right to steal our work. He actually defended his actions. He didn't condemn himself. He condemned us. He said the talented are guilty. He said that we weren't at his beck and call, and so he had the right to do anything he liked with our work. What kind of logic is that? It's troll logic, autistic logic, psychopath logic. And that's what that person is, and everyone listed as his friend on Facebook who enabled him too. We repudiate them utterly. We declare them anathema. Drop the fucking bomb. As Hannah Arendt said, the ideal subject of totalitarian rule is not the convinced Nazi or the dedicated communist, but people for whom the distinction between fact and fiction, true and false, no longer exists. This is true of all the anomics, the mad trolls. Voltaire said, "Every man is a creature of the age in which he lives, and few are able to raise themselves above the ideas of the time. We showed the world the eternal ideas, and look how we were repaid." So it goes. In Hell's Angels, Hunter S. Thompson wrote, "I'm bound to go to heaven because I've already served my time in hell. Communicate or die. Flourish or perish. The dunces will always be an enormous resistance to progress. That's the nature of the beast. They always cut down all high things. It's the only way for them to bear their empty, pointless lives. Futility is the essence of their existence. And never forget, the Ignavi are those who refuse to take a side when a war is raging." Nietzsche said, "They lie their weakness into a strength, but only in their own delusions, of course. In reality, they are as weak as ever, weaker." In The 20 Days of Sodom, the Marquis de Sade wrote, "There are no more than 2 or 3 crimes to commit in the world," said Clerval. "Once those are done, there is no more to be said. What remains is inferior, and one no longer feels a thing. How many times, good God, have I not wished it were possible to attack the sun, to deprive the universe of it, or to use it to set the world ablaze? Those would be crimes indeed, and not the little excesses in which we indulge, which do no more than metamorphose in the course of a year 12 creatures into clods of earth. Are you one of those who sets fire to the earth? You can't do anything without energy. Do you have any energy? Few do. Let us introduce you to X. No, let's not bother. You can never get these people to leave the stage. Their mental illness precludes it. In the end, they just kill themselves or vanish into their own derangement. No one notices, or they breathe a sigh of relief. Imagine being the sort of person that others hope will not be long for this world. But it's never too late to change. All it takes is courage. Depart from this scene. Find somewhere that welcomes you. To stick around where you are detested is insane. That's why your life is fucked. You keep showing up where no one wants you. Consummatum est.